During my visit to Chennai, I dedicated a full day to exploring the mesmerizing town of Mahabalipuram. Join me as I wander through ancient rock-cut temples, marvel at intricate carvings, and soak in the breathtaking coastal views of this UNESCO World Heritage Site. During my exploration of Mahabalipuram, I begin my journey at Krishnamandapa. The walls of the pillared hall depict village life woven into the story of Krishna. Krishna holds Govardhana mountain, under which are people, cattle and other animals, in one section. In another section, a young man holds the hands of his beloved. The panel then depicts a milkmaid carrying stacks of milk containers and a bundle of cattle feed on her head. Next to her is a man milking a cow. Above, Krishna plays the flute while people and animals listen intently. Just south of the Arjuna's Penance bas-relief is the Panja Pandava Mandapam, the largest, unfinished, cave temple excavated in Mahabalipuram. It has 6 pillars, one of which has been restored, and 2 pilasters as its facade. Another row of pillars follows in the Ardha Mandapa, and largely unfinished, deep side halls also contain pillars. Evidence of work in progress suggests that the cave was intended to have a walking path and large wall reliefs. The Descent of the Ganges is considered one of the largest bas-relief works in the world. There are 2 primary interpretations: the effort needed to bring the Ganges from the heavens to earth, and the Kirata Arjuna legend, and the chapter from the Mahabharata about Arjuna's efforts to gain the weapon he needed to help good triumph over evil. The granite reliefs from the early or middle 7th century are considered by the Hindu as one of the marvels of the sculptural art of India. After exploring these awe-inspiring monuments, I entered the main attractions that required tickets for both me and my camera. This ticketed section provided an up-close look at hidden details and exclusive areas, offering a richer insight into Mahabalipuram's cultural and historical significance. Krishna's Butterball, also known as Van Iraikal, is a gigantic granite boulder resting on a short incline. Due to the optical illusion, it seems to barely rest on the rocky plinth. The boulder is approximately 6 meters, 20 feet high and 5 meters, 16 feet wide and weighs around 250 tons. It seems to float and barely stand on a slope on top of a 1.2 meter, 4 feet high plinth, which is a naturally eroded hill. The rock is estimated to be 1,200 years old. A part of the boulder on top back has broken away, making it look like a half-spherical rock from the back, while it appears round-shaped from the other 3 sides. Butter Well is located 40 meters north of Krishna's Butterball, excavated deep into the eroded rocky plinth. Other Ratha monuments at Mahabalipuram include the late 7th century Ganesha Ratha. The 2 stories are relatively undamaged. The first story has 5 small Vimanas. The second story has 4, with repeating patterns. The Shala has 9 Kalashas, and one end has a Trishula at its top. The temple facade has 2 pillars and 2 pilasters. The column bases are shaped like seated lions, and the middle is chamfered, topped with a fluted capital. At the sides of the entrance mandapa are 2 standing dwarapalas with welcoming, bent heads. Varaha Cave Temple is an example of Indian rock-cut architecture dating from the late 7th century. The most prominent sculpture in the cave is that of the Hindu god Vishnu in the incarnated form of a Varaha or boar lifting Bhudevi, the Mother Earth goddess from the sea. Also carved are many mythical figures. The cave reflects a transitional style of architecture in its columns mounted on seated lions and frescoes carved on the walls inside the cave. Rayagopuram is an unfinished tower. Had it been constructed completely, it would have been a magnificent structure. Perhaps this was planned to be a gateway of all the monuments in the hill. It is not known what the objective of this tower and the reason was why this is called as Rayagopuram. Rayagopuram has two pillars in the middle. Both the pillars have the image of a lady standing on top of Yaji, the mythological animal. The above panel of both the pillars have the images of Dasha-avatar. Apart from these pillars, there are two pairs of pilasters in the front side of the tower and two similar pairs of pilasters in the back side. Carved from granite, the lower portions of the tower are adorned with intricate carvings and decorative motifs. The structure's abrupt, unfinished state leaves us pondering the grandeur it might have achieved had its construction been completed. Subtle architectural elements hint at a later influence beyond the Pallava era. The proportions, ornamental details, and design nuances suggest that the tower might have been part of a broader Vijayanagara initiative to embellish and expand ancient temple complexes, blending classical South Indian aesthetics with innovative touches. This rock-cut round-shaped cistern is excavated in front of the Trimurti cave temple. It is in form of a small well and probably the idea behind this excavation might be a simple one such as storing water, rainwater, for the sculptors and artists who were working on various monuments in the town. The legends however suggest that it was used by Draupadi, the wife of the Pandavas, for her bath. The Mahishasura-Mardhini cave is found at the southern end of the site, known locally as Yampuri. Excavated on the eastern scarp of a boulder on the main Mahabalipuram hill, above it are the ruins of the Olakaneshwara temple. The front of the oblong mandapa is defined by 4 pillars and 2 pilasters. One of its original pillars was moved to the nearby Adivaraha temple and was replaced with an incongruous, plain pillar. Portions of another pillar are damaged. Lions are part of the pillar architecture. On the northern wall of the temple hall is the Mahishasura-Mardhini legend rock relief. On the southern wall of the hall is a carving of the Anantha Sai Vishnu narrative with Madhu and Kathpa. Both layouts are symmetrical. And that's the end of our first tour of Mahabalipuram's magnificent monuments. There is so much more to explore, and I'll continue the journey in the next video. Until then, take care and bye.